Intel Xeon Granite Rapids SPS CPU leaks out, features 80 cores, 160 threads, lots of cache and 350 watts TDP. Intel's next-generation Granite Rapids SP Xeon CPU has been spotted with up to 80 cores and 160 threads coupled with lots of cache. Intel Granite Rapids SP Xeon CPU leak reveals 80-core and 160-thread variant, early S-sample. The Intel Granite Rapids SP Xeon CPU lineup is expected to be released later this year following the launch of the Sierra Forest lineup, which will utilize the Sierra Glen E-core architecture. The Xeon Granite Rapids SP lineup will be making use of the Redwood Cove P-core architecture. The next-gen Xeon family will be featured on the Birchstream platform in both the LG A4677 and LG A7529 configurations as reported earlier here. Now we have a new leak which comes from Yuiki_ins, who has posted a screenshot of CPU-Z running on an undisclosed Intel Granite Rapids SP Xeon CPU. This is a very early sample since it has a zero stepping, and it is confirmed that the Granite Rapids CPUs belong to the Family 6 Model D line. Due to the early nature of this chip, CPU-Z had some trouble identifying the exact specs of the part. Starting with the specifications, the CPU is listed with 80 cores and 320 threads. The reason that is so is that CPU-Z is unable to recognize the two chips and lists the thread counts for both. Each CPU has 80 cores and 160 threads, which marks a 25% increase over the 5th General Xeon Emerald Rapids lineup, which maxes out at 64 cores and 128 threads. The cache also seems to have received quite an upgrade, with two 336 MB pools of L3 cache for a total of 336 MB L3 cache per CPU, and also two 160 MB pools of L2 cache for a total of 320 MB L2 cache per CPU. Combined, we are looking at 656 MB of cache, which is almost a gigabyte without the use of any 3D stacking technology. According to Intel's latest software patches, the Granite Rapids SP will see cache increases up to 480 MB, which is more than the 336 MB L3 cache listed here. Now we may see 480 MB of L3 cache in higher-end configurations. Regardless, this looks like a big improvement versus the existing Xeon chips, with a 25% increase in core count and 46% increase in cache count as listed below. Now there's also performance evaluated within the CPU-Z single and multi-thread test, but it isn't much of use since the chip was running at very low clock speeds due to its early nature. Clocks were below 1 GHz at idle, so you can take a hint of what to expect. Despite that, the chip scored 30,299.2 points in the multi-thread test. For comparison, the Platinum 8592 Plus Emerald Rapids Xeon CPU was able to score 25,741 points back in the S state, and that was running at much better clock speeds. Once again, the Intel Granite Rapids SP Xeon CPUs are expected to hit shelves later this year in the latest data centers. Expect more information in the coming months.